I would encourage anyone starting a business to be very mindful of protecting their intellectual property early. It's something that you can't go back and fix. You can't decide later to go file patents. You have to do it
Welcome
before.
to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So what drive you to start this new company related with music? Why do you think that is what you're doing, guys, is something different than what is out there? And what is the differentiation aspect? I'm aware that the music industry have big market. You see valuations companies like Spotify and so
Right.
on. You see they are massive. People love music. It's a content that is a high quality content that people consume a lot. However, there are big players
Sure.
on the on the market at the moment. So how you gonna beat these Goliaths that they are there when you are a little David?
Well, the first thing is to not get in the ring with them. So just backing
Absolutely,
up,
absolutely. Go to a
just
niche
going
that you
back.
can penetrate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So going back to the question you asked, why did I start this? Look, we started filing patents around the concept for Amy back in 2015. So we were very early. And the initial thesis of the company still holds. We really were drawn to the fact that music uniquely brings together science and art. When you look at videography or creating images, it's less about science and more about art. So music is uniquely a confluence of art and science. And that fascinates me. I consider myself a whole-minded person. I love my creative side, and I also love my analytical scientific side. So this was an opportunity to build product that exercised both sides of my brain. Jumping to your last question, why did we build this and why do we think it'll be differentiated? The music industry has to date been focused on songs. And even if you look at some of the AI platforms that have come out of late, they are song generating tools. In other words, they let people make songs. We don't think that's an interesting market. There's over 1 billion songs on Spotify. Almost, I think 30% of them now are AI generated. And a large percentage of songs, a growing percentage of songs on Spotify are never listened to, or they have fewer than 10 plays. We don't need more songs. We don't need more content out there, especially given that consumers have 1 billion to choose from, and they only have to pay $9 a month to access that. So the economics just don't make sense if you're in the song business. On the flip side, music is a very acute need for enterprises. And if you think about where music is used in enterprise, it's pervasive. It cuts across so many different industries. You need music for podcasts. You need music for commercials. You need music for movies. You need music for how-to videos, for corporate videos. You need music for any kind of a medium where you want music to support.
You need
that
your own
medium.
music because the other music they do have copyright. You cannot use it. It's a big headache.
That's right. That's right. So our focus from day one was to build music as a service that's on demand and high precision.
Very good.
Clear of royalty and copyright issues. And I am really proud to say that we've succeeded at doing that. We have a service now that you can use to generate music interactively, meaning let's say you have a fitness app and you need the music to change dynamically with the runner. We have a service that can generate that music for you that you can send inputs to, and it'll change the music on the fly. Separately, we have an API for adding music to video. You can just feed it a video, it'll understand the video, and it'll dynamically add music
Very
to that
powerful.
video.
Very powerful. Very good.
And we didn't see anyone in that
it's
space.
operating in a. It's very good to enhance the engagement in social media, for example. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And then the music will be copyright. It won't have any copyright issue. It won't have any copyright restriction because it's generated by the software, right?
Well, look, the fact that it's generated by the software does not make it copyright and royalty cleared, as you can see by the fact that Suno and Udio are getting sued right now by the NMPA and the RIAA. They're getting sued because they trained their models on copyrighted material. The distinction with Amy is that we did not train our models on copyrighted material.
You
Instead of
train the model
focusing,
in material that doesn't have copyright, right?
no, we avoided that altogether.
Oh,
Instead
wow.
of trying to teach our models how to make a song, we taught our models how to make music from scratch. So our models make music the way a producer does. Our models are able to assemble samples, create samples, arrange those samples, mix those samples, and then produce music from that. And that allows us
Like
to
a
avoid
music
having to train.
producer without analyzing any previous trend of anything.
Correct.
There's no way that they can get inspiration on it. Yeah, like we were talking before, if you teach AI to do something bad, it will do something bad. If you teach it to do something good, it will do something good. It's not about the AI itself, is where
Right.
is
The
gonna the
data.
principle what is gonna call it. Wow, really powerful, and it's a big market because again, music. I, exactly as you said, we don't need songs, but what we need is more engagement in creating content.
Correct.
Either you do a movie, either you do this podcast, either you do any videos out there, if you put the right music, and eventually this technology that it will identify what type of music, and we will create the right background music for the content that will be, that's technology that definitely it will increase the engagement. Like I always said, you see, the to be in business, you have to be able to grow a community, and to grow a community, you need high quality content. And if this high quality content have a music, if the music can enhance the high quality content, well, you will be able to create a bigger and greater community. And the other thing with music is that is the only form of art that when you hear the music, it will bring you the emotion again and again and again. I mean, if you see a painting, okay, this is form of art. Yeah, you see it once and it's amazing. You can have it in your house, but you know, the more you see it, the more you see it, the more you see it, probably the emotion that connected to this painting in the first place, maybe it will vanish with time. However, music have a different effect. Music, it doesn't matter if you if you listen this music like 20 years ago, if you hear this music playing when you were a kid, now that even you're an older, you hear the music, we bring you back that sentiment, we bring you back this emotion exactly like day one. This is something that only music, the only form of art that I've seen out there. Music, even the movie, you see a movie, you can love the movie, you can see the movie one time, two times, three times, but after you see the movie 10 times, that's it. You bored with the movie, you bored with the painting, you it's already the connection is different. However, how many times you hear a song that you like,
Mhm.
and that emotion comes, you will never get tired of the song because it attached to
Sure.
our unconscious mind in a different level. That's
And
why
and
I find music.
you don't watch a movie 100 times, but you might listen to a song 100
Exactly.
times.
That's what I'm saying. So, and that's why, like, that's what define the market size for what you're doing. That the consumption of songs and music content, because of the, especially in corporate, right, when you have so many restrictions, so many issues with copyright, and as entrepreneur, we don't want problem. We are here to solve problems. We don't want problems to come to us, right? So technologies like that can provide that service and get away the copyright problem. That this is a good very good way for enterprises out there that they can operate, either they do a commercial or they do any content on there. So, Edward, this idea, you had this idea, your friend had the idea. How you thought that you guys can do this different? You saw everybody doing it out there in one way, and as a tech entrepreneur, you say, "Hey, this problem is coming and coming soon. Let me change the approach. Let me remove it from scratch. Let's start for the main principle, and let's create the disruption." So, why do you come up with this idea?
This wasn't a case of seeing people doing it the wrong way in the industry. It was really about just not seeing it at all. I don't think I've ever seen music implemented as a service. There's just nothing out there where you can connect to an API and essentially feed it parameters and get back music that matches what you need. So that's something unique. Really, the risk for us was, will people want this? Will there be a place for this? That was one risk. The other risk was it's hard. This was not an easy problem to solve. Creating music in real time
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
sounds good, that's cross genre, that's also royalty and copyright cleared, not an easy problem to solve. So, maybe I came up with the idea. Great, but the idea was not the hard part. The idea was really
And
the
also
easiest part of
patented,
it.
and also go to the patent process, which is again something that takes time. And
Yeah.
so, do you finally manage Edward to get the result of the patents or not yet?
We have over 55 patents worldwide issued. So
Relating
we have
this related this music thing that you're doing? Oh
that's
my God,
correct.
that's really
Yeah.
strong. Wow.
Yeah. I would encourage anyone starting a business to be very mindful of protecting their intellectual property early. It's something that you can't go back and fix. You can't decide later to go file patents. You have to do it before you actually publicly disclose your idea, or you cannot patent it. And that's a, just a fact in the US and in Europe and pretty much anywhere that has patent jurisdiction. That's the case. So you just need to be really careful about that upfront.
But then, Edward, the other thing is being early or the first on the market. You see, there are sometimes, like for example, MySpace to be, it was first social media, and it was getting some market share, and then Facebook took over. So sometimes Google, it was not the first search engine in the market. However, it becomes very successful. So sometimes to be in the first, sometimes to be the disruptor in the industry is sometimes not a good thing, because this bigger company with huge budget and everything can see the disruption that you created. Yeah, even if you close your patent as much as you can, and then just wait and see if this actually is going to take off, and then they will go and then compete with you, and they have a lot of budget, they have a lot of resources. This is a bad part of tech, that when you create something and it's working really good, then the big boys come, they either buy you, or otherwise they want to crush you, they want to build it themselves, and start to compete right away. So how you see this challenge coming to you eventually, because it will come to you as soon as you start to make a lot of money with this, and how you're going to navigate this process?
Sure. Well, look, being early is a really difficult place to be. First of all, you end up spending a lot of money educating a market that other people take advantage of. Second, there's this concept of the innovator's dilemma, where whatever innovation you came up with when you were early ends up being the thing that you think is absolutely what you need to bring to market. And more often than not, you're wrong. Whatever it is that you thought was innovative is unlikely to be the thing that ends up being what the market needs, especially if you were really early, because the market evolves substantially from there. So the trap that companies get stuck in is whatever idea they came up with that brought them to the forefront early ends up being the weight around their ankles that drowns them. They need to be able to pivot, and they need to be able to readjust based on what they're seeing in the marketplace, and make their earliness be an advantage, not a liability. And that's a critical thing that I think is incredibly difficult to do. Even for a seasoned entrepreneur like myself, I have to constantly remind myself that you don't get any rewards for being early. You get rewards when a customer pays for your product. That's the ultimate reward.
So, Edward, and yeah, when people come to me and say, Harry, I have this idea, is so unique, nobody's doing it, I'm like, wow, maybe this idea is unique because there is no need for it. Maybe there is no need for the market for it. But then if it's really unique, be ready, because I was that person once. I opened one of my brilliant ideas. It was to open the first halal restaurant in Brick Lane, in which is a place in London where all spicy food traditional is been it had been sold. And then I call it Harry Spanish Tapas. And there I was with that restaurant. I was the pioneer. Nobody never offered this halal food to that community in a different way. There was no spicy, it was Mediterranean, but it was all halal, comply with all the culture and so on. And it was very innovative. The council, the authority, they were going there and they loved the project because I was bringing different food to the community, and then even the restaurant would choose to compete into the Olympic Games in London to deliver to see for a competition to see if it wins one of the jobs out there. However, the reality was that it was so expensive to educate the market. Only the young people used to go to a restaurant. And by the time that the market start to get educated into that product, into something new for that community, it was so expensive and took so long that I had to close it, and I lost over 200,000 pounds in that adventure. However, now you go to the same road, Brick Lane, and when I was the only restaurant that was offering alternative food and halal food to that community in that road, if you go now in London, 50% of the restaurants are actually alternative food. So what happened is everybody was waiting to see how long I gonna hold educating the market. And once the market was educating and I was gone, everybody came into because they knew that it was a space for alternative food. It was just somebody has to go first, and some I learned this in the hard way. That's why when somebody said I have this unique idea, I'm like, oh, be careful with number one because number one is dangerous. It's expensive. Is it sounds very sexy, but in reality, it's tough. So, Edward, any but you do have experience. The good news is that you have experience in the tech space. You do know what you're doing, um, and you are going into this industry knowing you're going ready to battle. You know what you're getting into. However, again, very big players out there with a lot of money that are looking and watching what you're doing and see, well, let me see what. However, you can actually, with experience, you can end up winning on this. Yeah, you can have the right strategic partner. You can write Uh, uh, so it's all about the strategy. It's all not about being so stubborn. It's all about understanding the marketplace, and it's about strategic partner. So any strategic partner area that you think that can make a big difference of what you're doing, that can accelerate what you're doing, can actually uh, um, at this moment that is early stage, who you thinking that could be probably your future merge acquisition, strategic partner? Um, what 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 companies have you thinking that this project that you're doing would be interesting?
Well, look, we're in tech, so there's two ways to exit. One is to create a substantial customer base, and the other one is to get acquired. So for us, the focus is on building a great product that people want to pay for. And we've done that. And we have customers now who are in the enterprise space who want
Wow.
music that can be generated on demand with high precision. So exactly what our thesis was when we started out. The way that we avoided the traps of being early was constantly pivoting. So we built a
Mm-hmm.
general purpose platform. We weren't
Mm-hmm.
sure how this platform needed to come to market. So we gave ourselves a lot of flexibility in being able to adjust quickly. One thing I hear a lot, and I think it's kind of funny, and it usually comes from people who are unexperienced, is they say, well, you guys have changed a lot, or you change a lot. And I hear this labeled to other entrepreneurs, well, they change their mind a lot. That's what you're paid to do. You're paid to change direction.
Absolutely.
You're paid to pivot. And it's better to pivot and not go off the end of a cliff in a nosedive than it is to be stubborn with your, whatever concept you had and drive off the edge of the cliff. So, yeah, I think just to answer your question, we've put ourselves in a position where now the market is ready. And music as a service is something that people understand. They understand that AI is here to stay. It's not experimental, and they know they're going to need to incorporate it into their product planning. And as far as music goes, I don't think there's another company out there right now that can deliver music the way that we do at the cost point that we do with zero risk legally.
So pivot, Edward, is the secret of success in the tech space, right? Don't be stubborn. You see, I see a lot of young entrepreneurs out there that they are so in love with the product, they're so in love with the technology that they don't want to change. They believe, well, my product is so good. If you don't like it, somebody else will come and buy. However, if you are constantly listening and pivoting and listen to the market, and you're flexible enough. Yeah. The other day, somebody asked me a question in this broadcast. He told me, Harry, what is the fastest point from A to B? And I said, the straight line. And the guy told me, no, Harry, it's the path with less resistance. Think about the river. So pivoted, what it means is finding the path with less resistance. And if you don't pivot your product, there is a lot of resistance. And this is something, Edward, that we don't want for any tech entrepreneur out there. It's already hard. It's already tough. From this broadcast, we want all the entrepreneurs to be wealthy, to be healthy and happy. And we know that tech by itself is hard. So don't add resistance to it. Don't add stubbornness to it. Don't add I'm the boss here. Everybody had to do what I say. Don't start to add those layers in your tech company because it's already challenging as it is. Try to remove the resistance. Try to pivot. Be open to pivot. Be open to modify. Be open to listen to your clients. Be open to find the path with less resistance. Have been a pleasure, Edward. So tell us, if people want to know more about you or they want to try out to this platform that you guys are working at the moment, how people can find you, how this process work?
Sure. The website's simple. It's aimi.fm. It's the AI Music Initiative. So you can go there. We have a series of products that we've made available. Some are direct products for consumers to play with. And then we also have our enterprise offerings for companies that need music integrated into their products and services as well.
Wow, I love the name. The name is fantastic. So thank you so much, Edward, for being a broadcast. These have been amazing. You make my day today. Yeah, I think that if you're a tech entrepreneur, please listen the broadcast twice. That would be helpful. There is a lot of learning that can be done if you listen carefully and pay attention what we discussed today. We want you the best. We want you to succeed. And this is you have a blueprint for someone that has succeeded again and again in tech. So thank you so much, Edward, one more time. And for all of you listening this broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Edward break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Thank you, Harry.
Pleasure.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.